Hello everyone, and welcome to this video. Today, I'd like to tell a little story. And, as a good story, this one starts inside an asylum. But I'm getting ahead of myself here. First, I had to choose a name for my character. Luckily, one of the face presets had a very recognizable face. So, I decided to name my character Hollow Reynolds. Yeah, it's kind of funny. For my starting class, I chose Deprived, because I'm very good at this game. And for my starting gift, I chose the pendant. I surely did not forget about the Master Key and its many uses. Yeah, I fucked up. Well, anyway, back to the story.
This is your fate.
At that point, all hope was lost. It felt like I would be here forever. Luckily, I was wrong. Suddenly, a body fell in my cell. And when I looked up, I saw a knight looking straight at me. Not entirely sure who he was or what his intentions were, but I had to check that body. Within the body, I found a key, which meant I could finally leave the cell. On the way, I took care of some of the residents from the asylum. I mean, it's not like they have anywhere to go, right? I climbed the ladder and found my first bonfire. And right in front of the bonfire, there was this huge gate that surely would lead to the exit. At first glance, the path seemed to be clear. It wasn't. Yeah, that's not gonna do it. I may have escaped that demon for now, but I still had to deal with the other inhabitants of the asylum. Luckily, I found a plank shield. There we go. Next to the archer, I found a club. Wasn't you supposed to do something? Anyway, I killed him. I passed the fog gate, and a shiny item almost instantly catches my attention. Unfortunately, after some attempts, I wasn't able to make that jump. I opened a shortcut to the first bonfire, and I nearly escaped death from a boulder. Killed the hollow that threw the boulder at me, and decided to investigate the hole in the wall. And inside, I found a knight.
Oh, you. You're no hollow, hmm? Thank goodness. I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. I wish to ask something of you. You and I, we're both undead. Hear me out, will you?
No.
Regrettably, I have failed in my mission, but perhaps you can keep the torch lit. There is an old saying in my family, "Thou who art undead art chosen." When thou ringeth the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know. Well, now you know, and I can die with hope in my heart. Oh, one more thing. Here, take this. An Estus flask. An undead favorite. Oh, and this. Now I must bid farewell. I would hate to harm you after death. So go now, and thank you.
With these keys, I could progress towards my freedom. But first, I had to deal with some more inhabitants of the asylum. One of them even had some armor on. Not sure why only he had and the rest didn't, but to be honest, I don't care. Now, there was only one obstacle between me and my freedom. And that obstacle was this guy.
That's quite big. Impressive.
Luckily, the demon was no match for my club. And after a few hits, the demon was vanquished. And with this final key, I was finally free. Outside, I found some souls and a peculiar creature.
You, give me warm, give me soft.
I have this pendant if you want. It's not warm, it's not soft, but it'll do. Then he gave me an ear in return. Despite being free from the asylum, I was still stuck in this island. Luckily, something came up.
In the ancient legends, it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen. To leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage to the land of the ancient lords. Lordran.
Thanks to my newfound friend, the bird, I was able to leave that place. And now, I can start paying my debt to that night by ringing the Bell of Awakening. The bird brought me to Firelink Shrine, where I saw a very cool magic trick. What? Don't believe me? Take a look at that. No tree there. And now there's a tree. In here, I found yet another bonfire, but this one is already lit. Nearby, I saw a man wearing chain armor. He seemed friendly enough, so I decided to talk to him.
Ah, your face.
Nah, just kidding. Here's what he actually said.
Well, what do we have here? You must be a new arrival. Let me guess. Fate of the undead, right? Well, you're not the first. Well, since you're here, let me help you out. There are actually 2 bells of awakening.
Okay then. 2 bells of awakening.
One's up above in the undead church. The other is far, far below, in the ruins at the base of Blight Town. Ring them both, and something happened. Brilliant, right?
I decided to explore this place a bit, and I found a woman inside a cage.
Right, yeah, of course.
I also found a cleric, or something like that.
Hello there. I believe we are not acquainted. I am Petrus of Thoroland. Have you business with us? If not, I'd prefer to keep a distance, if possible.
Sure, it's your loss, I guess. And now, time for some treasure hunting. I just had to spend the souls. Don't worry, it's nothing that cannot be fixed by quitting and reloading the game. There we go, all fixed. Just gotta seed in this bonfire really quickly. Now I can use the souls that I've just collected. I decided to put my points in strength, endurance, and a little point in vitality. Now, if I want to ring the 2 bells of awakening, I'll probably need some better equipment. I mean, come on. All I have right now is a plank shield and a club. Now, where could I potentially go to get better equipment for my journey? That's right. Don't worry, I know of one particular weapon I can... The fuck? As I was saying, I know of one particular weapon that I can use this time. Usually, when I play Dark Souls, I use swords or great swords. But this time, I want something different. And I already know exactly what weapon I'm gonna get. So I go down this ladder, pass through these tunnels, and enter a hole in this wall. So I can meet with the Pyromancer, where the Pyromancer and I engage in civil conversation. And at the end, I won the debate. I pushed this lever so I could go deeper into the catacombs. Use yet another soul and lit this bonfire. Another point of vitality seemed like a good idea, so that's what I did. So now I was ready to collect my weapon. First thing I did was take this little shortcut and try not to die. From here, I could already go and try to get the weapon, but the skeletons would just get in the way. My first idea was to lure the skeletons down the ladders. But they just kept climbing back up. I got a good window of time here, so I thought it would be a good idea to fight the Black Knight. I was wrong. Despite the initial hit, I did try to defeat him. But it was ultimately useless. Then I took the shortcut again, and even had a little scare right there. But don't worry, I didn't fall off. This time I managed to fall down without getting the skeleton's attention. This time, instead of trying to lure the skeletons, I thought it would be much easier if I just killed the Pyromancer. Despite being protected by 2 skeleton archers, he was no match for my club. Unfortunately, I didn't make it out alive. No worries, we just gotta take the shortcut again. Heal that fall damage, and defeat the skeletons. Now I can try and fight the Black Knight again and... Wait. Did he just escape? What? Well, that's new. Now, I know. A normal person would probably just quit out and reload it so the Black Knight will come back. But you know what I did? I decided to follow him. I mean, what's the worst that could happen, right?
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Okay, one more time. We're gonna take the shortcut and do exactly like I did. Don't follow the skeletons. And kill these other skeletons, and now we can... Really? Bro. Now, this time, I decided to be smart about this. Instead of jumping down to follow him, I would just meet him on the other side. Surely, this is the smart option. And this day, I learned Black Knights don't know how to climb ladders. Yeah, I didn't know about this before. Huh. So I just homeward boned away back to the bonfire. The beauty about this shortcut is that a lot of weird things can happen, like this. Kill these two with one hit, because I'm so good at this game. And now just jump down this hole. And he's not here anymore. Don't worry, this time I actually decided to do the right thing. Luckily, we also received some iframes. Otherwise, I would have been dead now. The fight was actually going pretty well. I mean, I think this might be it. You know, Dark Souls is kind of like a life lesson. It shows you that no matter how hard things are, you just gotta keep moving forward. And then, you might just survive. Not gonna lie, I was horrified at this point. Luckily, I managed to dodge. Little did the Black Knight knew that I had all his attacks memorized, so I just had to parry them all. One more hit, and I can finally collect my prize. Okay. For attempt number 2, I decided that 6 points should go to strength and 1 for vitality. Guys, I repeat, follow the shortcut, follow what I did, and ignore what that skeleton did. After learning my lesson from attempt number 1, I decided it would be much easier if I just went straight ahead and killed the Pyromancer. After hitting him several times with my club, he fell down. Unfortunately, I also fell down after being hit with a skeleton scimitar. I've returned to fight the Black Knight, and yet once again, he ran away. So, of course, I had to quit the game and reload. This time, the fight went much smoother. The good news about attempt number 2 is that I had to fight him only once. The bad news? Well, he didn't drop the weapon. Attempt number 3 was just business as usual. Jump down while avoiding the skeletons, climb down these ladders so I can kill the Pyromancer, follow the law of equivalent exchange, and now I can attempt to get the weapon once again. Luckily, the Black Knight was here this time. Don't worry, next attempt I did this. And about this fight? Well, it actually went pretty well. I mean, I was able to backstab him, I was able to parry him, I was able to dodge his attacks, and he only ever hit me once. To be honest, this fight was actually much better than the previous one. And You know, I just wish the outcome was a bit different. Because, despite my efforts, he also did not drop the weapon that I wanted.
Bruh.
For this attempt, I decided to scrap that vitality point and put everything into strength. On my way to the shortcut, I slipped. Luckily, I fell on the platform. This floating head gave me a small heart attack. Luckily, I survived. Again, I went down the ladders to kill the pyromancer. I decided to heal a bit, and they decided to attack me. In return, I killed the pyromancer. And then I died right after. Weirdly enough, this was one of the few times that I jumped on the shortcut and nothing strange happened. I defeated the skeletons, and I was ready to try and defeat the Black Knight again. And as I fell down, he immediately missed. There was nothing actually special about this attempt. Sure, I defeated him with a parry, but he still didn't drop the weapon. You know, the worst thing about the shortcut is probably this floating head. Most of the times, it just pushed me off. Not this time, though. Trying to dodge the skeleton, I almost fell down without taking the ladders. Then I took the ladders and went straight ahead to try and defeat the pyromancer. And I succeeded. Then I defeated the skeletons and took this little soul. And once again, I was ready to try to get my weapon. This fight went on for quite a while. There's nothing special about it, I just decided to speed it up instead of cutting it. But ultimately, there was no reward at the end. Okay, one more attempt. I can do it. As always, get down the short... That was rude. Anyway, get down the shortcut and not fall down, like that skeleton. And once again, defeat the pyromancer. Funny enough, this time, I actually managed to get out of there without dying. Wait for the skeletons to climb back up and kill them. And once again, fall the hole to fight the Black Knight. I took this opportunity to increase the odds with one humanity. Right after, I quit the game and reloaded so he could spawn in. And my strategy was quite simple. Dodge, parry, and backstab. And this fight also went pretty well. Not too different from the others, except with a lot less me getting hit and a lot more him getting hit. This time I was also more familiar with his moveset, but luckily, this time there was one big difference. You might not believe this, but I've been here for hours, and I'm so glad that it's over. There was just one small issue. I totally forgot you need 18 dexterity to use this. Oh well, guess I'll have to use my second option. Luckily, the other weapon is also in the catacombs. But instead of having to go down that tunnel, I just have to go down here. Another soul collected. Coming down here, not only did I find the weapon, but I also found the cleric set. Also, this happened. As you can see here, the mace deals 4 more points of damage compared to the club. Except it actually deals 1 point less of damage. Hey, on the bright side, it wasn't so bad here, right? Right?
It's a hard knock life for us. It's a hard knock life for us. Static shooting, we get shaked. Static kisses, we get kicked. It's a hard knock life.
Well, guess I have to go with my third option. This is a Zweihander. He hands Zwies. After a very long time, I'm finally back at Firelink Shrine. Well, I didn't want to use a sword this time, but I guess there's no other way. Or so I thought. Weirdly enough, this actually works. I feel like one of those soldiers in steel armor from the Undead Parish. Anyway, I decided to use some souls. And this time, I distributed my points in dexterity, endurance, and vitality. And now, I'm finally ready to start my journey. Oh. Once they appeared, I killed them all. One of them even dropped some pants for me. However, I already had the cleric set, which was a bit too heavy. So I equipped the skirt, and then disposed of the rest. Then I changed my mind shortly after. Well, this surely is the last time I go to the catacombs alone. And that was the story of how the catacombs traumatized me.